So those of you that don't know, those of you that are here maybe for the first time with this, on the second Saturday of every month now, we do a show called Live at the Blue Box. And we are doing theme nights each time. It used to be every week, and we just kind of took a stab at it, and whatever happened. Now we have themes. So you missed Star Wars night if you weren't here. You missed Doctor Who night. Another one's coming. You missed Harry Potter night. But you made it for Sherlock night. Yes. And so I get the plug in next month, and I don't know the date on it. We're doing video game night. And then we've got Kong night, and we've got
Prom night?
Prom night, yeah.
Prom night.
It's going to be prom night. It's going to be
so.
80s prom.
February 11th is...
Chris is going to tease his hair up. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I go 80s, totally.
Yeah. Just going to be all night. We're going to be doing the AHA video live. Chris will be on one side. I'll be on the other. With
I'll be black and white.
Yeah.
I'll be the kid in 16 Candles that's crying at the door for his mother, you know.
Literally.
You can be Zonger.
I don't want to stay.
Be Zonger.
Let me go home. I want to be with you guys.
I'm going to restart what we did now that we got all the business out of the way. Welcome to Live at the Blue Box. It is Sherlock night.
Woo!
Yay! Better response.
Better response, yes. You almost missed your cue. And you know what?
Yeah.
We're going to do what we usually do. We're going to wing it. What we're doing tonight is we're going to go until about 8 o'clock, and then we are going to show an episode.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to put The Lying Detective, which is the latest episode.
One.
We're going to start that at 8 o'clock.
So let's introduce ourselves, and then I got a question for the crowd.
Excellent. My name is Chris Mao. I am co-owner of Blue Box Cafe, co-host of this and many shows on the fabulous Southgate Media Group network.
Yes.
I'm Martha Southgate, co-owner of Southgate Media Group with that guy.
That guy.
I'm on a lot of podcasts. I don't know. Pinheads, a Pinterest podcast.
Nobody called you that.
Well,
as far as you know.
In the last 5 minutes.
I named it, so
yes.
I guess I called myself that. I don't know. Ever After, a Once Upon a Time podcast with Molly over there. And Cuckoo for Who, a Doctor Who podcast.
Counterculture.
Yeah, with
Lots of stuff. Binge-worthy.
Binge-worthy.
We had like an hour meeting about binge-worthy today, and she forgot.
Yes.
It happens. And then I'm Rob Southgate, co-owner of Southgate Media Group with that guy right there. Mm-hmm. And I'm on a lot of shows, too. If you like Marvel, I do Enough Said podcast. If you like geeky stuff, we're on a show together called This Week in Geek, and it's awesomeness. Yes. And if you guys saw that here and you liked it, we record it on Monday nights at 8 o'clock Central, at 9 Central, when everything works. We do it live on YouTube video. It's an after show, so it's not like the regular show. It's even more jackassery. So that's a phrase I just coined. So let's get into Sherlock.
Yes.
I got a question for the crowd. Do you guys all watch Sherlock? Does anybody not watch Sherlock?
Your parents, right?
My
there.
parents.
Yeah. Oh,
you don't watch it. Okay.
He's wearing a Star Trek shirt.
That's okay.
You're redeemed.
You're
redeemed.
young. Yes.
You're too young.
Hey, did you watch Young Sherlock? You watched Sherlock.
We watched Young Sherlock Holmes today, so she got to see it. So for you people, we'll do our best not to spoil anything. We're going to have discussion about it, but we'll stay away from things that really spoil.
He's a detective.
But you know what? We're going to not spoil what just happened, but there's going to be some spoiling. I'm sorry.
Did you? Good.
There's probably going to be some.
And we'll play it tonight, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you're going to see it tonight. So, okay, we know these are Sherlock fans. So to flip our cards, first of all, Martha and I know a lot about Sherlock Holmes. I got paid to play him at a thing at a college once. How weird is that? I knew nothing.
Can we talk about that?
But the coat fit and the hat.
Johnny Bravo.
Oh,
right.
But
Martha and I, to prepare for this week, binged the heck out of it. We did all episodes, including the 2 new ones.
Starting, I think, Monday or Tuesday. We watched every season. And so,
and here's what you find out.
If DCFS would like to come and take our daughter
here's
away,
what you find out. They're an hour and a half, so
it's
like 3 hours of watching, and then you're like, my brain.
Yeah.
And the next day you wake up and you go, oh, wait, that was only 2 of this season. We got to watch 2. Now we got to get 3 in today.
We did 4 yesterday.
Yeah,
so
we did 4 yesterday.
Quite intense.
We finished one today, and then Molly and I watched Young Sherlock Holmes today because she's never seen it. She was saying, I've never seen Sherlock Holmes. She has, though, and a good one. You know what she saw? Great Mouse Detective.
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
You didn't like that one, or is she saying it was something else? I'm not going to ask her. Yeah,
we will
Great
not
Mouse
talk
Detective.
about that.
Do you guys like Great Mouse Detective? It's, we watched it recently, and knowing the lore, knowing the characters, it was surprisingly good. Like, they got a lot of the stuff right in that one. It's a good film, man. So, and Young Sherlock Holmes, not canon. Just throwing that out there for everybody. Mm-hmm. Is this show...
Sherlock.
This show
Sherlock's
is
not canon. This is a reimagining.
This is a reimagining, and they base their shows off of original story novels.
Right. Like the Hound of the Baskerville episode is not the Hound of the Baskerville story, but it's based. It's in that universe.
Well, because this Sherlock would not... He thinks similarly, but it's beyond that kind of reasoning.
Well, what I like about this is Cumberbatch's performance is astounding, but they're using elements from the books, from the original source material, and focusing on things that they haven't focused on, like his drug use is something that if you read those stories, it talks about him, but it's not a main focal point. Here, they explore it.
But it takes them a while.
It takes them a while, but it's knowing that it was there. Like, I don't know. Did you know it was there?
Oh, it was there.
No, but did you know it before going into this?
Well, I didn't really,
because it was in the background, and they'd say certain lines. But there's a big surprise that happened in this last episode that I don't know from the books. So I was like, wow, this is new material.
This is new material.
We're in new territory.
But Mark. It was created by Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss, who plays Mycroft. And
oh wait, I didn't know that. Mycroft.
Well, I know because you haven't let me talk yet.
Doom.
I'm the one with all the research here.
I had a double latte.
So yes, they were actually. They had been talking about it for a long time because they both are huge Sherlock Holmes fans, and had actually Mark Gatiss is the one who wrote that one Doctor Who episode. I did write this part down. But he did this one
She's
episode
in the
that was
30 seconds.
No. You guys will be able to help me. There's the where they touch on it's a very Dickens.
Oh, the Charles Dickens episode.
Yeah, and he
the other Doctor.
He's written like five episodes.
Wait, did he write the other Doctor one, or did he write the one with Charles Dickens with the ghosts?
I'm going to look it up.
How about that?
All right.
Continue on, and I will interject.
But anyway,
what's your mother doing, Rob?
They're both obsessed.
Peg, we need internet.
Yeah, well, you're our looker upper.
Come on, Oracle, look it up. She has no idea. Chris is looking it up.
But they have sort of steeped themselves in Sherlock Holmes
in Victorian
over the years,
England,
and so they both wanted to do this as a modern day Sherlock Holmes. And Stephen Moffat's wife is Sue Virtue, who is one of the producers on it. She is she's actually a producer on other things, but she joined them on this, but she was encouraging them to do it before somebody else jumped in and took the idea.
Sure.
So
well, he is the BBC now. Just to interject, Mark Gatiss wrote The Unquiet Dead, which is the Dickens episode.
He
wrote
Dickens
Idiot's Lantern.
Which is which one?
I can't remember.
Perfect.
Off the top of my head. Perfect. Victory of the Daleks.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great.
That's a good one. That's the Winston Churchill one.
Night Terrors and Cold War, which are awesome.
But it's kind of that era.
He does that era.
He likes
did
that era.
Crimson Horror, Robots of Sherwood, and Sleep No More, which I love. So.
Just so good. Yeah. This isn't a Doctor Who podcast, though. Let's move on.
We're going on.
All right. So they were writing this as a modern day, and everything they made sure that everything that he was doing now sort of would fall in line with what Sherlock Holmes would do, because he used everything at his disposal. And so now, of course, he would use cell phones and anything he could get his hands on.
Well, the thing about Watson doing the stories as like a blog is fantastic.
Oh my gosh, it's
awesome.
brilliant.
Because everybody's like on there like, you're Sherlock Holmes. And then the whole thing with the hat, I just love that.
Oh my gosh,
if you think about it, because we just watched the Christmas one from last year. If you think about it, when he's having his... spoiler, his hallucination, his dream. Watson is writing for The Strange. He's writing an article in there. So it's like his diary or his journal entries there, very much like a blog for that time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really interesting that Sherlock's brain took it and put it in that context, which is what they did to put it in the modern context.
Yes.
Right.
Cool.
And like when they had Watson come home from the war in Afghanistan, in the original story, Watson had come home from the Second Anglo-Afghan War. And so Gatlas was quoted as saying, I realized it's the same war now. It's the same unwinnable war.
Right.
And so like they really tried to make it as true to the original as they could while making it modern. And so they kept tying it in. And you find that when you watch it, if you're looking for those things, it's
right there. Well,
it's right there.
See, and my history with it was the books, and I remember, when I was younger, I binged the movies, the ones with Basil Rathbone.
Well, don't you remember?
I loved those.
Don't you remember
Good job.
when we were a kid? WGN.
Get that woman a microphone.
Rob, WGN used to do the Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Because we had nothing better to watch than Channel 9.
You ever see Sherlock, what is it, 2050? It's an animated one where it's in the future and he's like a robot. Is that, it was made for, because I didn't know it was that. It's educational, because that is actually really good. It's, what is it, like 2050 robot, Sherlock?
2050 with the robot Watson.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, ironic.
And that one's actually
this
really
is
cool.
almost that.
But that makes sense that it was an educational thing. They have it on Amazon Prime right now. No, not Prime. Got to pay
Netflix.
for it. Cough up the bucks.
And I thought it was funny in these that they replaced his pipe with nicotine patches.
Yes.
So instead of him walking around with his pipe, he's
Well,
has
and
patches on.
it's interesting because when you read the books, it talks a lot about the addictions. Because he's addicted to solving the crimes, he's addicted to his pipe. There are things like that you, as you read them, and he's addicted to cocaine. Spoiler, in the books. And when you're reading this stuff, you start realizing that, and opium. He was an opium user. In this, once again, they modernized it. You don't find a lot of opium users now. So they use,
Yes.
now they say it's heroin use.
Right.
And they talk about his
cocaine-
addictions.
cocaine
and you
or
see
heroin
those
is
play
what they
out.
said.
You see those play out in this show.
Yeah. And did anybody see... does anybody here own the DVD for the first? Did you watch the original pilot? Because the BBC had them change it. So what we saw as the pilot was not what they originally
So there's
filmed.
something more to watch?
So there is
wow.
something out there for those of us who don't have the DVDs. You got to go
Nice.
get the DVD. But the original pilot is included. What did you think of that?
Was it so awesome?
Was it really different than
Is it
what?
the same story? Is it the...
Very different. Okay.
Is it a different director?
No,
That's what I'd want to know.
I don't
You think it's the
so
same
because
director?
it was they asked them to change the format. They said we like what you've done, but change the format. But I think it's the same people. Then they just did it.
Yeah, reconfigured it. Okay.
So one of my favorite things that I read, that I found today was that Matt Smith was the first one to audition for Watson.
Wow.
Oh, he would have been. Although
No, he was too much.
too much, yeah.
And
He'd be
so-
interesting as a Watson, but there's no way you're beating.
But it was shortly after that Moffat hired him
For
on
Doctor
as the
Who.
doctor.
Yeah.
So he saw him audition for this and saw, that's my 11th Doctor. I thought that was just really
That is
fascinating.
fascinating, yeah.
Because if Moffat hadn't created this, we would not have had Matt Smith
Interesting.
as our 11th Doctor.
Wow.
So just kind of a fun little factoid.
Although I wonder if we would have gotten Cumberbatch as the 11th Doctor.
Cumberbatch was their first, he was the only one they had set that they knew this is who
It's
we
got to be
want.
him. And
They didn't know
when you watch
anybody else.
the show, there is nobody else.
Yeah.
No.
Although I gotta say, on Elementary, Johnny Lee Miller's Sherlock is very different, and I really like him. in
Oh,
that
he's
role.
great. So.
I like that show too.
And
It's
so,
very
and
different.
Lucy Liu is a great watch.
Oh, she's great as Watson.
I love her.
Does
She's
anyone
great.
watch?
I have
Do
seen
you guys
that
watch
show.
Elementary?
Love that. Yeah. Totally
It
different.
is. It's really cool.
Unfortunately, it's
a
the
different take.
American take, and
Yeah.
I would love it.
it would be better if it was a
It's
cable
not
show.
as good.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say I would
it's not
love
as
it if when that one finally dies on CBS. It gets
FX.
picked up by Netflix or something,
And
and
they
can
do
do
it right,
Same
yeah.
kind of format.
Yeah.
Give me
'Cause
3
it is
episodes
such
of
a
it a
good
year.
cast.
Make them an hour and a half long, and show me what you can do with those guys because they've
only-
got great stuff going on.
The only
there.
reason they can't do more is those guys are hugely busy. I mean, as big as Sherlock
Oh,
is,
Cumberbatch? No kidding.
Unfortunately,
both of them. Martin
both of them.
Freeman?
Martin Freeman.
Right? They both. I mean, one's Bilbo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
crazy.
they were both in
Well, they don't have
Hobbit.
to film
They're both in
Yeah.
Hobbit.
Bilbos,
They're, I mean, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, MCU. They're both MCU.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
It's not like they're not in
So I
demand
was-
still.
And Martin Freeman was on Fargo.
Right.
We
Yep.
loved that
Oh, he's
season
great
with him.
on Fargo. And you know what's funny? If you watch Fargo with him, he has a lot of the same mannerisms that he has as Watson. Even though he's playing a guy from Minnesota and he's got the accent, which is hilarious. He does a lot of, you know how when he talks to Sherlock and Sherlock says something weird and he goes, like that?
Yeah.
He does that on Fargo the whole time. So the whole time I'm watching Sherlock, I'm like, oh, he's totally doing that character.
Well, but he did it as Bilbo too.
That's an acting thing.
Is it? It's one of his things. Right, and you develop those and you work on them. Yeah, it's just it's so defined on him that I was getting that callback. But yeah, you're right. Like Cumberbatch definitely has it. You see it as he plays his various characters.
Well, he's got that uncomfortable. He plays the uncomfortableness unbelievably well.
Yeah.
Because you see interviews with him, and Martin Freeman is as strong. I mean, he's as dynamic a personality as there is. And then you see him play these characters, and you're like, he's like this.
He's
kinda,
so timid.
But
yeah,
but as Watson,
like
he isn't. He's got that strength, but he's
Yeah.
also got that. He's like the caretaker of Sherlock
But
Holmes.
he had to work towards that. He didn't come out of the box a strong character. He was very beaten down and
Well,
very
pain
much,
and
very
everything
meek and just sort of, tentative. And it was over
Right.
time that he went, oh yeah, this is what I like.
So was
like
the Lying
just the
Detective
danger.
more about the culmination of what Watson has become? Because I think this last episode, and not to give spoilers, was showing his strength even when he was kind of down.
This last episode was dealing with Watson's story arc,
Right.
Even more than Sherlock's.
Oh my gosh!
Although
that was secondary, although it was great.
Sherlock's arc in this episode, what happened to get him to this episode, really was super strong.
Right.
But we were supposed to because of what happened with the girl. We'll say that.
Right. Well, let's see what
that
happened
we
in
don't
episode
Made you
one.
Joel?
not like him,
I lost.
and then you see it made us not like him.
Yeah.
We had a problem with Watson from that. But when
Sure.
you see what happens here and you see the manipulation and everything, you go, oh, like it was a great arc. It was beautiful. Speaking of
hold on,
MCU,
but after when you find out what actually happened,
yes,
did you feel like a heel for thinking the way you thought?
yes.
And I cried so hard. Did anybody cry on this last episode? Oh my
Anyone?
gosh. Oh,
Come on,
that was
cry
so hard.
I cry
to
at the
watch.
Downey commercials. I don't know
Well,
what you're
that's
talking about.
true. Oh, that was just so hard.
Every time that little bear
It's
giggles.
super soft.
And I love how the character development of Mrs. Hudson.
Oh yeah,
Hudson.
Mrs. Hudson.
Mrs. Hudson.
And
That's her
it
name?
turns out that Una Stubbs plays her, and she's known Cumberbatch since he was 4 years old.
Get out.
Because his mom was an actress, and she used to work with her.
Oh.
And then his parents are the actual parents that play his parents on the show.
Oh,
like
really?
those are his mom and dad play his parents on the show.
Interesting.
Cumberbatch's parents. I didn't know that, so I thought that was pretty fun.
I just want to say one thing. There are lots of seats out here. We are all friendly people. So if you see somebody standing, offer them a seat.
Or
Yes.
or someone in the back can go get more chairs.
Yes. Or someone in the back could get more chairs. even though they're
making
working hard.
sandwiches, they will
Yeah.
in a second.
Yes. So
But,
fret not. We will find seats for you. But there's lots of seats here. People will move. People will make space. All right.
But I love her, and I
So-
love how she
it's
how
great.
she develops over
and,
time.
And that's a character on Elementary that is, to me, brushed aside a little bit. I
Yeah.
always feel like they're not doing. If you guys watch that show, they don't do much with Mrs. Hudson. She's been on, but it's brief, and you keep going. There's a story here. On Sherlock, though, she is
Yeah.
a central character.
Well, and for her to get to the end, like in the beginning, she was just sort of, puttering around and getting
Right.
them tea and doing, and then each episode it was like a little bit more, and then this last episode for her to be the one who essentially solves it. She's like, how are you not seeing this?
Right.
Do you not know him at all? And you just sit there and you go, oh my gosh,
She's
all
driving
this
her
time.
Aston Martin and
Oh no! What a great car, by the way.
Oh.
You know what's
that was
great?
awesome.
You know what was
Brilliant.
great with that? When Watson is like, "That's your car," and she goes, "Sweetie, I own property. I own
Right.
rental property in central London, and my ex-husband was a drug cartel."
Yes.
Like, It's awesome.
Well,
Just
and then
great.
she, and
Well,
then she
can I
says,
use a card? No.
No,
No.
she's like, anything you need, you can always come to me. I'll give you anything you need. And then he's like, can I borrow your card? No. But
So
she was fantastic. I love her.
Speaking of the MCU, in this last episode, once again, without spoiling a thing, Toby Jones is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene. You've got Toby Jones, Cumberbatch, and Martin Freeman all in a room. And all I was thinking is, that's Doctor Strange, Armin Zola, and I don't know who Martin Freeman is in that other one, but all three of them are MCU characters. On in Marvel, but he's a character. I don't know what his name is.
Right.
But he's a character that we're going to find out about in the later one. So he will be important. Maybe he'll be Captain Britain. No, he won't.
Yeah, and how about Toby Jones?
Toby Jones,
he's great.
Was incredible.
I wanted to kill him like from the first second I saw him. It's like I couldn't have hated somebody more.
Hey, how about those teeth?
Oh yeah,
those teeth. Big Book of British Smiles. That was a brutal month. But I love Toby Jones. And right away, as soon as he came out, I'm like, remember him from Hunger Games?
Oh yeah.
You know, we watched that one. There's one called The Woman. It's a movie about Alfred Hitchcock. Toby Jones plays Alfred Hitchcock in it. It's not very good. He's good in it,
but he's so
it's not
good.
very good.
Yeah.
It was like a made-for-BBC movie, and it's kind of their like Lifetime level. You know, it's okay, but he's so great. Mm-hmm. The Woman in White, I don't know.
That's
Doesn't matter. It's about Tippi Hedren.
So I put him in Google, and the second one was Toby Jones's teeth.
Oh,
Poor Toby.
What movie what's that called?
What's what called?
The Hitchcock one.
Okay, I'm not going to derail things for that movie. It's not that good
What? Anymore? No, it's not.
But if somebody really likes
The Girl?
him,
The Girl.
The Girl.
It's called The Girl.
Okay.
Was that him about him and
it's not
Tippi
great,
Hedren?
but he's really good as Hitchcock, and he is so good on this Sherlock. Oh my gosh!
Now, but who's your favorite villain? Is
okay, favorite villain so far?
I mean, is it him or is it Morrissey?
You know what's hard?
Did I just say it's Moriarty? I'm like, I know I'm going to get the
Morrissey
name wrong.
Morrissey the
I'm
singer,
thinking Smiths.
Moriarty.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's Morrissey the singer.
Which would be great if
every name wrong.
Which would be great if he did that.
Which is why I write things down, but I didn't write that down. Okay, here we go. I got to flip back
All
over.
he does is sing Smith's songs, and like Sherlock's trying to figure out how does he know every word because he's Morrissey. It's hard because until this episode, I would have said Moriarty is hands down. He's the Joker to Sherlock's Batman.
Right.
But Toby Jones' character was amazing.
Oh, he was.
He creeped me out. How long have you worked here?
Moriarty's voice, though.
Moriarty is amazing.
Every time he'd go, he had that goofy voice. I'm like, oh my gosh, the voice.
He was. He was
me.
the
Every
Heath
time
Ledger
he was on,
Joker.
He killed
Yeah,
me.
he is. He's the Heath Ledger Joker of Moriarty's. Mm-hmm. Let's make more Batman references. You know what? There are a lot, though. If you watch this...
Martha. No, sorry.
Yeah, and his mother's name is Martha. Why'd you say that name? If you watch this, Sherlock Holmes happened obviously before Batman was created. But my gosh, I'm watching this and all I'm thinking is this is the blueprint for Batman. I mean, it really is. And if you read, I've read tons of Batman comics. I'm seeing so many similarities. It just shows you that this archetype is gold.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Conan Doyle.
Well, the dark hero is a great one because everybody relates. It's not like the do good. I mean, and not to.
Are you throwing shade at Superman?
No, I'm not going to throw shade at Superman because Superman has his. But Superman is much more the godlike complex where I'm perfect. I'm all good.
Well, and Sherlock has that too, but
a little bit.
Well, no, that's his ego. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not Superman. It just is.
It's a super id.
Right.
Yeah.
How'd you like? Yeah.
Nice.
I took a psychology class for 2 weeks in college.
27 years of college down the drain.
Not so much, is it?
Well, that's why I dropped out after 2 weeks.
It was funny.
So
I'll give it to you.
we've spent a lot of time talking about Sherlock the TV show. What about?
Wait a second. That's what we're supposed
She's not
to
done.
Be.
Are you done with your stuff?
Well, no, but we can go back to it.
Okay.
What about the movies with Downey? Because
you haven't seen them. Nope.
Because just because it's Sherlock, you haven't. Oh.
Nope.
This is good.
Okay, then let's go talk about this.
I know you haven't seen it because we have the Blu-rays on both of them.
What is the one I saw?
With Sherlock?
Yeah.
You did not see that one.
Are they
Can
on the
you tell me who
Saw
played
one of
Watson?
them. Oh, heck no.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you what I ate
hold
for
on.
breakfast.
What?
Okay. So the Robert Downey Jr. take is very
He's not-
different.
30 seconds. We'll kick in.
I really love. Now we have the second one. I still haven't watched that one.
It's decent. It's okay. It's a
I
good-
watched the first maybe 10 minutes. I was like, this is great. I'll just watch it
Right.
at some point. Stack of shame. I did watch Waterworld recently, so finally got to that.
You watched The Godfather Part 2? Good for
Yes,
you.
finally.
That's awesome.
I wonder
I'm
what
glad.
happens. The Downey Jr. Sherlock, I think it's great, but it's a very different take. Have you guys seen? You guys have seen these, right? But I
Right.
wouldn't say Victorian realism, though,
Yeah.
because it does all that
Well, it's
slow
very
motion
it's
fighting,
steampunk, yeah.
and but it's kind of like the it's Guy Ritchie. It's a Guy Ritchie version of Sherlock.
Yeah.
Is what you watch it, and you're like, this is obviously one of these kind of guys. It would be like if Tarantino did one. You'd know what the flavor of that would be.
But they did Sherlock as a superhero.
Sam Jackson
in
would
the
be
movies.
Moriarty,
Yeah,
so.
exactly. But I'm just saying, like in the movies, they made him an action superhero with all
Right.
of the other stuff, where the focus is on a lot of his physicalness as opposed
Right.
to because that's a
Right,
lot.
he boxes,
That's
he
a
does
lot
all
with,
these
That's a
things.
lot about with Watson. But back in the Victorian area, that's there's no technology, so you either duked it out or thought it out, and he does
Right.
both, and that's what's really amazing about
Right.
it. But I thought he did. Obviously Downey Jr. as Iron
Jude
Man.
Law is-
and Jude Law is fantastic. Irene Adler, she was great.
Okay, that was a question. It's been so long since I watched it. So she played Irene Adler in that, right?
Yes.
Okay. She
and-
wasn't Elizabeth.
No, she was Irene Adler.
Have we had an Elizabeth in
No.
this, or is she dead already?
We haven't had Elizabeth.
No.
Because we watched Young Sherlock Holmes today, and Elizabeth is the female character in that. It's Holmes, Watson,
Instead of
and
Mary?
Elizabeth. They're kids. They're in
they're
in
kids.
school, and Elizabeth.
No, we haven't had
Sorry,
Elizabeth.
guys. Elizabeth doesn't make it. I mean, come on. I can't spoil it. It's a movie that's like 30 years old now. So, sorry, kids. They're not listening.
Mary is one of my favorite characters
Mary's amazing.
on Sherlock. I love her. I love her.
Well, they cast
You
it
mean
well.
Molly?
No, Mary.
No, Mary.
Okay.
I
Sorry.
love
I'm
Molly
trying-
too,
yes.
but no,
She
Mary
great.
is one of my favorites.
In the end, you're like-
Molly's awesome, but Mary is. Speaking of
Super
the id-
ego.
yeah, exactly. Speaking of Sherlock's ego, right?
Well, at the end when she
Careful,
says the
everybody.
video,
The
you're
universe
just like,
is moving
oh,
around
right.
that kid right there.
You set yourself up for that one.
Yep.
But yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
hold on, did you know that they are married in real life?
Who?
Mary and Martin Freeman.
Are they really?
I think they were.
No, they are not. As they're going
Yeah.
through a split up, but
I
they were
think
married
they
in real
were
life.
at the time, but they're no longer together.
Is it because she's an assassin in real life?
It's because she's so cool.
She's
Did she finally wake up one day and go, he's Watson, but I married a hobbit? Because I wake up that way often.
You know what? Hold on.
But you get lots of breakfasts. So
Yes.
you know what? Get over
11Z's,
it. Yeah.
10Z's.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Second breakfast?
Love
I think
it.
they know about second breakfast.
Love it.
But
So-
yeah, no, I mean, they have kids, and I'm sure.
I'm going to count that as a boo, by the way.
That is. How busy could he possibly be? I mean,
Martin Freeman?
I mean,
Oh,
he's,
my God.
He's in everything. That's got to be a strain on their
Well,
relationship.
that for sure is.
And then he said, it told Mark Adams, write her off because I can't stand her. So, no. Ba-doom-boom. Too much.
That's awful.
No.
Yeah. She's fantastic. I love that actress on there. She's perfect. Now, has she done other stuff? Look faster.
I don't know.
not
I'm
my
not even
job.
either.
We need like full-time. Mom, you really need to be upping your game.
All right.
Yeah, you don't even know
I'll
what we're
look her
talking
up.
about. That's fine.
Hold on. I'm getting there.
Amanda.
I closed it
So-
because I felt I was like watching too much.
So we've got the Downey one. We've got the old Basil Rathbone, which I'm a big fan of those. I think those are really great. Today when I was looking for young Sherlock Holmes, I put it in, and of course I didn't realize there are so many iterations, so many different actors have played Holmes. It's amazing, and I really did want to dive into some of them because they each seem to take a different take. Like I said, that cartoon one is actually good. It seems like it would be garbage, and then you watch it and you're like, nope, this is actually pretty cool.
She's been in a ton of stuff, but it appears to all be British, like a lot of British TV shows. And
Well, this is the audience for that.
I know, but
Because she's from England.
Right. Well, duh. But
What?
some
So
people
is
cross
Cumberbund.
over.
But he's
Some.
in a lot of
Yeah.
American stuff.
What American stuff?
Doctor Strange. Yep.
That's worldwide.
True.
Where do they film it? England, probably.
They
Although
film
I'm
in
opting
Cardiff.
for him to get on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Cardiff, yes.
I want to
it's
see
where
him
they
come in
filmed
as
Doctor
Doctor
Who.
Strange for one episode. That'd be awesome. See?
Yeah, why would they move?
Listen to me, Marvel.
Why would those guys move? So.
Right.
And then have that crossover too. Yes.
It's
Welcome to the
less
Marvel
expensive
Podcast.
than
I can talk all
London.
night.
We're having our own conversation about Sherlock over here.
Sorry.
We were talking about where they film.
Where do they film?
They film in Cardiff.
Cardiff into.
Oh,
in
okay.
Wales,
Where
where
they film
where they
everything
film
else.
Doctor Who.
You know,
Except where the outside facade of 221 B Baker Street.
Yeah.
That exists, and that's where they shoot that. And that sandwich shop is real, and they said their business has gone crazy.
oh, I'm sure.
Oh, I bet.
Well, we
So they're kind of like that.
we have a
from
podcast about
Seinfeld. Okay, you're standing on my
Elementary,
court.
Baker Street, and they have covered Sherlock. I was on it for one season doing Elementary, but Jack and Zach covered Sherlock, the first
We try to only get people with
rhyming names. Yeah. But they did the first two seasons, I believe. What season had the? No, 3 seasons because they did the wedding.
Right. Which was a fabulous episode.
I
too.
loved
is
that
funny.
episode. They hated
They
it.
hated it.
What? Who
I
did?
They
loved
hate
that.
it.
Was one of my favorite episodes.
Jack and Zach hated it. Do you
okay,
guys like
did
the wedding
you guys
episode?
Like that? No.
No.
Yes.
See, now, if you're watching it, what they didn't like, I listened to it a little bit today to try to figure out why they didn't like it. They didn't like it because they're like, well, the mystery wasn't that great. It wasn't a Sherlock Holmes story. It was a character motivation
Yes.
story. It was moving things ahead. I thought it was actually,
It's a Watson
but
story.
you gotta
it's
watch
hilarious.
it with the one following it because of Mary's
Mm-hmm.
arc. If you watch those two together, it's a lot stronger.
That's
I think if you
vanilla.
watched it and then waited a week or a month or whatever to watch
Yeah.
the next one, it wouldn't be
Right.
as strong.
Mm-hmm.
But we watched it, boom,
Hold on.
boom, and it was like,
and
yes.
it's a Moffat Gaddis joint, so
Right.
you know it's going to tie in before and after. It may not make sense until
Yeah.
you see everything in the whole and go, oh my gosh, that really makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
So,
I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was. I
Yeah, I
loved,
love the wedding. I
Oh
thought,
my gosh, Sherlock.
but see, the other thing is,
As someone with Asperger's,
Yes.
I'm watching that going, oh my gosh, he has to get up and make a speech. This is not going to go. I mean, just watching all of
speech,
that.
he can't even talk to a
unfold.
person
His-
face
That's
to
what I'm
face. So it's
saying.
great.
that was what was brilliant.
It
is
was
the way
so
they
well
portrayed
done.
his Asperger's trying to give this speech.
So
And then when
well
he
done.
realizes what's going on in the room, him trying to balance the two was really brilliant writing and acting.
And when he's sitting there, he's like, what did I do? Everybody's laughing. He's like, what did I do?
Right.
What did I say?
Laughter,
And I was
yes.
like, oh my gosh. It was
Although,
brilliant.
And then Watson can't leave well enough alone either, and he's all of a sudden like right back in his role. It
Yep.
wasn't like,
Right.
hey, I'm getting married, whatever. He's like,
Well, you know
all
what
of a
it
sudden
was?
he's like that, and then even Mary was like, oh, there it is.
they
And that's what
have
was
their
great about it.
code word, and when he
Right.
said the code word, you saw Watson switch.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like, nope. And he leaned over, he's like, that means we got to go. That means there's trouble. And it was like, wow, this is really,
Right.
Yeah.
really great.
I thought that was one of my favorite episodes.
Okay, so you asked the question about favorite villain. I talked for a half hour about it. What's your favorite villain so far?
That's all? A half
Well,
hour?
if I could remember their names for 5 seconds.
I know Morrissey
Yeah.
and
And
Linus?
Bono or
Lin-
something. Yeah. Yeah, you know what?
and even the guy who got the guy with the newspaper guy. He was not a strong outward character, but that was a really solid villain too. That was a really interesting play out with that guy. I was very nervous around him.
I have to say Moriarty, but I am really
Toby
I'm
Jones
really
is still,
glad that they didn't bring him back, like that they didn't do that.
right, like
cheap,
each season,
sort of like everyone. Oh no, it was a game.
So
it
he
was
was like
just
the-
a
he's being the
magic
master.
trick. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna keep
please
coming
don't
back.
bring him
Right.
back. Yeah. So I really liked him, but I was glad that they didn't bring him back.
although now Sunday, tomorrow is the last episode of this season.
Yes.
We don't know.
No.
What if Moriarty shows
'Cause,
back up?
you know, they don't
Because
call us and
he
tell
could,
us.
and I'll tell you
Well,
why
no.
I think he could.
Okay.
What? Do you have a reason?
No, go ahead. Explain yours and
I'll tell you why
shoot
I
you
think
down.
he could. Because if you watch carefully, number one, we saw Sherlock get out of that situation. We didn't see actually what happened to Moriarty, okay? They said somebody dropped the line that his body disappeared. Somebody dropped that line in another episode. What? The other thing is, when he was having his dream sequence, the Christmas thing, sorry, spoiler, they kind of played with that.
Sure.
And it made me go, there are ways he could have done this.
Well, just like
Sherlock.
like Sherlock did. Yeah,
and if he's his equal, could be.
But I'm going to tend to.
But I don't think they will in this episode.
It's what he set in motion when he was still alive in order to mess with Sherlock is going to be what it is if he shows up.
I agree, but I'm saying if they get into a 5th season, I could see there are ways he could come back that would be completely legit.
You agree?
I would not mind it.
I
would not mind it.
Well,
yeah.
They've got Toby Jones to go back to, who is
they've got Toby Jones.
I mean, but they have somebody who they've set up to be equally as
terrible.
And I mean, in his terribleness, he's awesome because he literally just did all of this in plain sight. He was the complete DB with just being out there. And it's like, I did this. How long have you worked here? I mean,
Dave Barry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a name. Okay. Does anyone else wish he would? Does anyone wish he would come back? Yeah. 3 of you?
Wait.
You wish he would? I thought you said you were glad he didn't.
I want him to come back too.
I'm the only
but
one.
I didn't want him to come
Marlo
back yet. I want him to. The way they've played it is exactly how I want it. But if he came back, I would not be disappointed. I would think, okay, but they got to do it. It's got to be super clever. It's got to be something that you watch and you're like, it was right there in front of me, and it's awesome.
It can't be a grab for more cash.
No.
Sorry. Bad reference, but I don't think go there.
No.
We'll see. So let's address that. You're talking about season 5. I mean, it was 3 years since the last one.
Right.
Since the last series.
This could be a while.
It either could be a while, but, with Moffat stepping down from Doctor Who at the end of the year, maybe they can
freeze him up. But once again, you've got Cumberbatch, who is also going to be in Thor Ragnarok. He's going to be doing Marvel movies for a while.
Yeah, but that's
let alone all the other stuff. Plus, he's an Oscar guy. They're going to be putting him in movies for Oscars.
His
like
Ragnarok
crazy.
is a 3 week or 4 week stint. That's all. He's not going to be in the whole thing. He's going to be in it.
No, he's got a big part in it, from what I understand. Yeah, he's not a cameo. He's supposed to be.
Well, yeah,
bigger.
but
he's not big as.
He's not doing the fight. He might be in some of the fight scenes, but his isn't the physicality of it. So
okay. Yeah, he'll be in Infinity War.
That was going to be he has.
But I mean, yeah. So it doesn't take up that much time, like you said, but these projects add up. Sure. And like last year, he did the Imitation Game up for the Oscar. Yeah. He's a guy. They're going to get this guy an Oscar at some point. They're going to put him in stuff to get him there. Yeah.
Well, and they have won 4 Emmys for
doing 3
writing,
shows every 5 years.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Writing. Cumberbatch won Best Actor. Martin Freeman won Best Supporting Actor.
Were those Emmys
and
or
they
BAFTAs?
won Best Television Film.
Were they Emmys or BAFTAs?
Emmys.
Those are Emmys. Oh.
Emmys.
Because they win BAFTAs all the time. So.
Yeah,
right.
I saw that, but these were Emmys.
Well, yeah, because
So
of BBC America, they can.
Only the American ones count.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you're.
Yep.
Because I didn't know what a BAFTA was, so I just went right over that.
Oh no! Well, they've won a bunch of BAFTAs.
Well, yes, they did.
Yep. Okay. So what else? What else do you have?
I just thought this was kind of funny. They had so many people requesting the coat that the company that makes it put it back in production.
Oh, you're kidding.
So it's Bell staff makes it, and they put it back into production
awesome.
because people were beating their door down trying to get it.
Well,
Nobody's beating the door down to get that hat.
And
I'm telling you right now.
And there's some designer who's doing the scarves and the suits and everything because and now all these men are walking around in that style. But what they were trying to do was...
I've seen it on Pinterest.
Yeah. What they were trying to do was marry the modern with the Victorian and give him a look because they said he would never be he's just not that kind of person.
Right.
So his apartment, his flat is not at all modern, like a few appliances and things, but really it's throwback.
It's
and what is with the wallpaper in this show?
Yeah,
English.
okay.
And there's like 4 different ones in every room. I go, really?
But it's not his choice. It's
but not just his.
Everywhere he goes.
Everywhere they go.
Literally everywhere they go, it's wallpaper. Just patterned. William, can you help me with this?
You've been to England. Your dad's English. Your dad's Sherlock.
What is up with the wallpaper? Is that how it really is in England? Does everybody have really big wallpaper?
Hey, England called and
Some
said,
buildings.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
It is so much
And settled
wallpaper.
down about Toby Jones' teeth.
And 3 or 4 different kinds in a room, and none of them go together.
Yeah.
And I just sit there and
you know
like,
what? We can go from white to colored, and we need to make a somewhere in between.
I wonder if, like, on the show Breaking Bad, the colors used for everything, from how they dressed to the colors of the walls, all of that was thought out. Everything had a purpose. I wonder if Sherlock is that way, because I've had that feeling, because even in his apartment, it doesn't change. I mean, he's got 4 different wallpapers. But I've noticed when they're in certain environments, the wallpaper seems to be saying something.
well, and it may be just sort of the chaos in the...
And
Because it's
really,
all wild. It's really loud.
the only
and-
time we don't see the wild
prints.
wallpaper is in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the only
And
Hold on,
did
when
you-
they
environment.
when they make the choice to be modern, like when they went to the hospital, Toby Jones's hospital,
Yeah.
that was very up to date. When they go to, they've done what in Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard is very when they do it modern. I think they definitely go modern,
Right.
But then they also have that tie back to the Victorian, which is
Right.
I think an obvious.
Did you notice her rug, the therapist's rug in the last episode? It looked like a blood stain.
Yeah.
It
Spoilers.
Was, no, we're not spoiling.
No,
but
my
it
But it
quote
looked,
did.
was-
If you look at,
but
especially
it
the
looks
color
like,
of it,
in
looks like
the
blood.
shape,
Oh yeah,
The shape,
and
the
it's
cut
just
of it.
this deep red,
And the thing
it's
is, it was obvious when you were
It-
watching it, but when you saw him in there before, we
it
didn't
wasn't.
notice
We
the
didn't
rug.
see it, or
So
she didn't have it at that time.
I would have to go back and look at the rug.
But
to
we're
see if
watching it, going,
told
"Oh my
me.
gosh, it's a blood! It looks like a
like a blood
like a
split.
blood stain."
Yeah.
You know, I was like, "Oh," and it's a really, really deep red, and it was very obvious.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting.
Kind of interesting. Good thing we're on a
Kind of.
podcast. I have a.
I didn't say this was interesting,
I have a. Ever.
but the rug was interesting.
I have a question without spoiling anything. But those of you that have seen this last episode, you've seen it, right?
Well, no, we said some people
Some,
haven't.
but some have.
Okay.
I'm just going to ask a question without naming names in any way.
Oh, this is gonna.
John
spoil.
Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah.
Did that
Rumpelstiltskin?
person shoot that other person?
What the kind of question is that?
But you know what I mean, right?
Did that? No, and I saw it like today. What did that person?
Did
I am very
No.
that
literal. You
person
gotta
No.
tell me literal.
shoot that person?
Did that?
I know. I'm
that
trying to
helped
figure
in
out how to
no
say.
way.
Well, I don't want to say.
No, but did that person? Did that person? No.
Well, I figure if I say it enough times to her, eventually she
No,
goes,
I don't
"Oh,
get it."
you mean that person?"
Yeah, no.
See?
I don't know
Chris,
what he's
That
talking
person.
about.
No.
I
This
say
last
no.
one.
I say no. Does anybody say yes? Does anybody know what I'm talking
No, I
about?
don't know what you're talking about. Okay, help me out.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. I have to spell it. I had to say the names.
Well,
I had
it
to give
doesn't
zip
help
codes.
when we watch so many in one day that it's like, what? Which one? Okay.
We watched one today, and this is what happened in this episode.
Help me out here.
So, did that person
I share
shoot
his Asperger's. I
that
don't
other
share his
person?
intelligence.
Right,
level.
right. Did that person shoot that other person?
No.
No. I say no also. So that didn't spoil anything for anybody. And you guys all say no? Does anybody say yes?
Does Marlo?
You say
know
yes.
yet?
We
You
have
are wrong! Get out! No, I'm kidding.
get off the island. So
That's right. You've been voted off the island. Yeah. I don't
Oh my
want to
gosh,
say.
it looks
Matthew, I agree with you.
I don't want to
100%.
say.
what?
No, you just said no.
I know. I'm just.
But now you're agreeing
you were
with
being
Matthew?
mean to a kid, so I had to tell him I agreed with him whether I did or not.
It's like years
It's my
of
superpower, Matthew.
curmudgeonism.
Yes.
Yes.
And I can't tell you why, but there are very distinct reasons why that didn't happen.
I am gonna say she is going to shoot a picture of somebody.
I made a note.
Oh, a
I'm just saying.
picture. I think it's going to be like a lighter or something. I'm telling you, because if you watch it carefully,
Yeah.
nothing
No. I think you're right.
discharges. Watch it carefully.
Well, fooled you.
Okay, so we're not going to go into spoiler
Is it a
territory.
water?
We're
Is it
gonna
a
back
water
off of that.
pistol, like a squirt pistol? That'd be
So
great.
which is your favorite villain?
Oh, I always love the yin and yang. So I like the Moriarty aspect of it because he is the antithesis of Sherlock Holmes.
Sure.
They're the same person, opposite sides of
Yes.
the coin. So I think that's great, and the way they portray him in this is completely out of control. Although, I mean, how can you not like Toby Jones? I saw him. I'm like,
It's amazing.
This is awesome.
No, I mean we're splitting hairs here.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, but just because of the Holmes thing and the Moriarty thing, even
And the way it was played, it is very much the Joker.
right,
and
even Moriarty
I love
and
that dynamic.
Sherlock in the movies, I love. I mean, I love
Yes.
that whole movie dynamic where it's punch counter punch, and it's their chess game that you see that you have no idea what's happening, and then at the end you go,
Right.
Oh my God,
And they seem to be the only two really playing this chess game because even like with the
Well,
death,
yes.
you go, I don't know if I saw all the moves. I don't know. That's why I don't know if he's dead.
right
Because they were playing a different game than what we were seeing. And he keeps saying the game is on and not the game is afoot.
I know,
What
I
is
love a
wrong
foot.
with that?
I like a foot better, but we did get a foot in the Victorian episode.
Yes, and we got a foot in this last one.
Yeah. So,
Right up the. Oh, never.
Hello, yes.
I waited so long to say what I wanted to say, and now I don't remember what I wanted to say. Oh, I do. Okay. So the Edge Theater in Chicago put
Yes.
on a play a year ago.
Yes.
Called Holmes versus Holmes, and it was H.H. Holmes with Sherlock Holmes hunting him down.
So-
and then this episode
Yes.
had H.H. Holmes
Well,
and Sherlock Holmes, and I was dying.
Actually, in Holmes versus
Just
Holmes,
had to say that.
The premise at the beginning is it takes place after, what is it, Randlesham Falls?
Right? I never know how to say it.
Right.
What is it?
Because that's where
Reichenbach-
Sherlock and Moriarty
Reichenbach.
in the book die there.
Wow.
But there's question, right?
The
And in
potential
Holmes
of it.
versus Holmes, they took the idea that Holmes faked his own death, but he can't come out and say it, but he gets obsessed with chasing down H.H. Holmes.
From
and
the
H.H.
Chicago
Holmes,
World's Fair.
From the World's Fair, the Devil in the White City. H.H. Holmes in the story went to England to take classes from Professor Moriarty because he could smell out his own. And Moriarty rejected him at some point because he's like, "You're sick. What I do is precision."
Right.
It's
it
a
was
brilliant
great.
play.
It was really great.
Absolutely. And so to get to see that together today, when I watched the episode, I loved that.
Yeah.
So are you saying Mark
they
Gaddis stole
they
that?
had the falls
Yeah.
in the episode, which was really cool. They had all those
Right.
references, and then the in the latest they had the H.H. Holmes references.
Yes.
Now there was another thing happening there, and I don't know if you have this in your notes, but
Probably
those of you
not.
that saw it,
I'm
you
not
know that they
thorough.
make the H.H. Holmes references in this last episode, right?
He's not
We
used-
didn't
No
see it
spoiler
yet.
there.
He's not
Doesn't
used
matter.
to notes.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. All right, well, get on it tonight. I expect you to be caught up. But there's a lot of H.H. Holmes references, which is fascinating, right? But the Toby Jones character, even though he's making references, there is another guy that here in America, I don't know how many people know about, but there was an English, a guy who was on TV there and did a lot of like kids programming that it came out that he was like a serial something. And it's the craziest story, and it's real. It would be like if we found this out about Mr. Rogers, but if Mr. Rogers was now and was a megastar.
Right.
That's what really happened. So watching Toby Jones, I'm like, those of us in America are hearing this story, but they're really referencing this other weird, real life guy.
Right. Well, they're putting together both because he does.
I'm a serial killer.
Exactly, but I mean, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But the hidden in plain sight where you're just there. I mean, you sit there and look at him, you're like, yeah, this guy did it.
Yeah.
But oh no, he didn't because he's just playing this character.
Right. Yeah.
I
So
love that part.
You got to look this up. I mean, I don't know how to tell you to Google it, but it was a British, and he was really ultra. It would be like, he was actually more like Johnny Carson, but he did a lot of kids programming too. So he was like a late night guy, but he did all this kids programming, and then it came out, it was this huge, like decades of stuff with this weird guy. Yeah, we don't know about him here. Sherlock found him, I hope. Martha.
I had put on my notes, read picture on phone.
Read a picture on phone. Okay.
That's awesome.
Let's see what
I was
that
like,
means.
okay, I wonder what this means. So let's see what I don't know.
It's a message from Eileen Adler.
I don't remember what I was referencing.
Irene Adler. I say it wrong every time.
Okay, it was about like with the people wanting to wear the clothes and mimic his style. And this journalist, Alexis Pedritis, I guess, commented, "You can see why men wanted to get the look. Perhaps they noted the effect Cumberbatch, by no means your standard telly hunk, had on lady viewers and decided it must have something to do with the clobber." So she's saying he's not your average, guy that women are going to fall all over.
Right.
And so the guys in England were all thinking, so it must be what he was wearing, so they all wanted his clothes. But she said, so it is that Britain's latest men's style icon is a fictional asexual sociopath, first seen on screen hitting a corpse with a horsewhip. And I was like, surely not even the great detective himself could have deduced that was going to happen. So there you go.
There you go.
On a light note.
And we just had an update. It's Peter Manuel. Is that the name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, look up Peter Manuel. You've got homework for the next time we talk about Sherlock. So,
All
Mom,
right.
is he dead or alive? No, I'm kidding. So Peter Manuel. Yeah, it's weirdness. Manuel from The Tick.
Nice
yes.
job, Molly.
Nice pull, Molly. I was going to say something else about the coat. I read a little bit of trivia today.
Okay.
So the coat in the pilot, they used it once. The coat changed after the pilot.
Okay. Oh, so you saw the original pilot. Wait, our pilot or the original pilot?
I don't know.
How about 21
Was
pilots?
his coat different in the original pilot? Okay.
So the coat was used, and it went into oblivion. It turns out that Mycroft bought the coat and kept it, and like last year gave it to Cumberbatch as a birthday present.
Oh,
So
that's
Cumberbatch now owns the coat. But for years it's been gone, and
Right.
nobody's known what happened to it, and it turned out Mycroft had it the whole time. Love it.
Mark Gaddis, also known
Mark
as.
Gaddis.
Mark Guinness.
Yeah.
Mycroft.
And
Mike. Mike.
how
That
awesome
was
is
hilarious.
How
when they
awesome
called
is
him
this?
Mike.
Hold on, you create a series and then you star yourself because he's awesome as Mycroft.
Yeah, he is.
He is unbelievable.
He's a weasel.
Oh, he
Yeah.
is. But he's
Now, did you watch?
He is the bureaucratic version of Holmes as opposed to the other side. He's the audit. He is the
Well, he's the bureaucratic
right.
version. In
He's
fact,
the
if you read,
socially acceptable version.
if you
No,
read,
he's not
no, he's
socially
not.
acceptable.
If
in a
you
lot of
read,
ways, yeah.
No,
that's
he's
how
not.
he got
Read
that far.
about them, if you read the what the take is on them, they actually say Mycroft is smarter than Sherlock.
right. Well,
But
is-
he's so
is
adamant
somewhat smarter
that
than
he
them.
can't.
But that's why he's socially acceptable, because he can
No,
function
hold on.
in an office.
He's not.
He can work somewhere. Sherlock
He
can't
can't.
even work anywhere.
he doesn't work with anybody,
No
and the
one
person that tries to hit on him, he's like, "What's this?" He has no
Oh, that
idea.
was
He has no
fantastic.
idea about it. It's like, holy cow!
Right.
I still stand by the fact that he is able
Yeah.
to.
Okay. That scene.
He's able to
Well, no,
blend a
because
little
he's
better.
an aristocrat. He's an aristocrat
Right.
that has done that, where he just talks down at people. He doesn't
Right.
do anything. He just like
he's a twit.
he's like, I talked to the PM like it was like with disdain. It
Right.
wasn't even like he was.
What the problem is
Whatever.
we talk about Sherlock having this super ego. Mycroft's ego, I believe, is even more out of
Right.
control. Superiority complex beyond Sherlock.
Oh, sure,
So, and we'll see what this other person has.
someone.
Someone.
Okay. Who shall not be named?
Martha's sitting there like, who?
No, I know this one. I got that reference.
And who? Them. I'll just say them. No, I'm kidding. They, them.
It.
So, what else you got?
Nothing. I'm all good.
Okay, so let's do it
We've
as
got cosplayers.
We have cosplayers we need to talk to. So
we want to
So,
talk
yeah,
to the
let's
cosplayers.
talk
You want to
to
interview
them.
them, Chris?
Yeah, let's do
I'm
it.
going to head.
All right, you're going to head, and then I want to do after we talk to cosplayers. I want to do maybe a. This is going to be terrible. I think I want to do a pop
Yes.
culture countdown about Sherlock.
Okay.
We got to come to the top 3
Hey
episodes.
Cam, could you grab me another stool?
Isn't that awful?
Or, yeah, please. We have another mic.
We do
Hey,
right
guys.
here
Hey guys,
and right here. Check.
are our cosplayers ready to be talk or not?
And my, where is Molly? Molly, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to run to the car and get the power cord for the phone. All right.
We're going to get another stool, guys. So, are you sitting up there?
Here, you can use these stools. I'll just sit here.
That stool?
Yeah.
I got another one. It's right here.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yep. You off of it? We're talking, so you.
All right.
Yeah, we got microphones.
Yeah, microphone.
We do have microphones.
Come have a seat. Come join us.
Stand whatever you want to do. Uh-oh. Yeah, whichever one. You have to get on camera. So, well, first off, thanks, guys, for coming out and dressing up. So, Lena works here at Blue Box, and she and her mother, and I always say it wrong. Do you say Suzanne or Susan? Suzanne. Sorry, I'm always bad. They dress up in all sorts of stuff, and they do all sorts of different period pieces, but you guys really love the Victorian stuff, and I know we have talked about that. And so they've come as Irene. Are you Irene as well? I know you're Irene. Who are you playing? Chromatica Hogan's. That's so. I mean, and look at how fabulous they look. So
it's amazing.
Round of applause, guys. So this is awesome. And this is cool. So
Chris and I are just dressed like crap.
We're just like nerds, like hold on, middle-aged nerds, which is bad enough. So tell me what you guys talking. Say hi, introduce yourself.
Introduce yourselves.
Can you?
And you want to put the microphone straight like this because it's unidirectional or unidirectional.
Omnidirectional?
There we go. Unidirectional,
Yeah.
meaning
You
it
can
goes
hear
like
me.
this.
Okay. So I'm dressed up in a favorite character of mine, which is Irene Adler. This is. You can't hear me?
Hold on. Is your mic on? Let me see.
I don't think it is. I mean, I can talk loud enough to grab you.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. You just gotta. Yeah.
All right. So now apparently everybody can hear me.
Can you hear her?
Can you
No.
hear me?
Two.
Two.
It doesn't like me, I think.
Go ahead.
I don't know. So I'm dressed up as one of my favorite characters, Irene Adler. She was the woman. I don't know. I guess you talked about her before.
Yes, a little bit.
That's okay. Yeah.
Irene Adler was the only woman who was on par with Sherlock in terms of intelligence and capability and that sort of thing, which is why he was very, very fond of her, though he didn't show it very much. Because when he met her, she was in a predicament. Well, actually, I, as Irene, was in a predicament in that we had had an affair with the King of Bohemia. I'm an adventuress from the 1800s. And in those days, as you might know, women were not commonly out and about on their own, and they weren't independent, and they were usually attached to someone somewhere. But myself, I was a very intelligent and independent woman for the time, and being an adventuress, I called upon my skills as an opera singer to make my living in the time, which was also not considered highly respectable in terms of career and that sort of thing. And so when I had my affair with the King of Bohemia, it was lovely. The only problem is later he was to be married, and his family thought I was an inconvenient woman. So needless to say, they were trying to remove all evidence thereof. And they hired Sherlock to track me down and get the evidence of this affair from me so that it would not threaten the marriage contract and all that for the King of Bohemia. That being done, Sherlock came into my house and attempted to find a particular photograph that I had, which showed that I had been with the King of Bohemia, and I spotted him. He was dressed up in one of his disguises, and he came in. He was quite good with his ruse, but I spotted him, and I pulled out his ruse right away, and so I outwitted him. I took the photo, and I escaped, and, well, he didn't catch me. So, as it were, since I was the only woman who had ever outwitted him, in fact, the only person who had ever outwitted him, he kept a token of that with him always and referred to me as the woman. So, I like the character Irene Adler because she is a woman before her time, quite intelligent, quite capable, that sort of thing. And, of course, I love the clothing. I do the clothing as a hobby. So, of course, I'm always looking for an excuse to wear it.
That's right.
That sort of thing. And the things that we are wearing are typical of the late 1800s, early 1900s. Myself, I have on what is called a bustle dress. As you can see, basically it's for bustling around the house or bustling about your business and that sort of thing. So instead of having this large hoop skirt and large full skirt, we took everything and kind of pushed it up in back of ourselves here so we could move around freely and do what we needed to do, which gave this kind of effect in the back, which men just seemed to think was dashing.
I'm wearing one right now.
Are you now? Well, there you go.
That's it. So is the bustle part where you gather it in back, or is that the style?
That is exactly what would have been the case. They would have taken a long skirt. Now later, they made this as a separate item, of clothing that you put on and off separately. But originally, it was just taking your skirts, gathering them around, and tying them up in back so they wouldn't be in the way.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
So you could walk a little bit more quickly. Like I know we have talked about this before. Susanna is very, very adamant about being accurate in her clothing. I mean, and we talked about. What did we talk about? There was something from it was 14 or 1500s where we talked about the layers of clothing and the house coats and how like somebody in England in the 14 or 1500s, because they didn't have heat, would wear 8 layers of clothing because to keep warm. But this is just this is indicative of how accurate you are in what you do, and which is awesome. I mean, that's a passion that I don't have, which is crazy.
And of course, fortunately, by the late 1800s, we had heat in our houses, so this was good.
Gas lines open, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yes. Now, my daughter is wearing a slightly later period walking suit.
I'll hold that if you want.
Which
Go.
was from the early 1900s. She's younger than me, so of course she's wearing the new style. And it does not have a bustle. It's a free-flowing skirt, but
That's
you can
awesome.
see we've adopted the waistcoat look because it's more practical, more business-like, that sort of thing. Good for traveling. And of course, all ladies have a hat, have to have a hat. So it's a slightly different time period, slightly different look. So
Now, with this cosplay, obviously you're stepping out of character for a second.
Sure.
You're playing Eileen.
Irene.
I get it wrong every time. I just watch it and I get it wrong. Are you using this character when you go other places? Like, do you get called to libraries to play this character? Or, like, I had to play Sherlock in a class. They had me dress up and do a thing, and I knew nothing about it, but that's all right.
I actually have. I have a good friend of mine who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but he loves to dress up as Sherlock. And he has the Inverness cloak, the caped coat, and the famous deerstalker hat and everything. And, of course, he's English, so there you go, as well. And
That helps with the accent, right?
Oh, it does. He's good at that. He's well
Very good,
practiced
yes.
at that one, yes. So we will go to events like Anime Central.
Sure.
And other events.
So you cosplay at these events
Yes, we
in
do.
character.
And we will go as Sherlock and Irene. And it's funny because people will immediately know who Sherlock is. They
Have
don't
no idea who you
know
are?
me as well. I don't
Right.
know why.
So just to kind of interject, if you guys have not been, it used to be like 3 or 4. Now it's literally like every weekend there is some kind of pop culture convention
con of some
somewhere.
sort. The
from,
libraries
from,
have
from
them.
big
They're
from
everywhere.
big, which is Wizard World, where 25 or 30,000 people will go to a local library con where
right here at the Blue Box.
So right here at the Blue Box, where a couple hundred people or 100 people will show up, and people come dressed in what we call cosplay or costume play, and do this amazing stuff. And people will come dressed as more dedicated, like Irene Adler will be very period specific, a very specific kind of cosplay to where they might do a cross between Irene Adler and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's everything in between, and it's amazing. And the amount of work that people put into it at whatever level, whether it's very accurate and period actually produced, or just somebody kind of putting on a cloak saying, "Hey, I'm Sherlock," it's all awesome. And you guys, if you get a chance to go, just going to the lobby to see this is worth the price of admission.
I'll tell you something else about it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't dress up like this unless you expect people to take some pictures. So you do like to have your picture taken, correct?
Yes.
It's
Now,
a known side effect.
It is polite to ask, is it okay to get a picture? Not just walk up like, because that's weird.
Yeah.
But guys, tonight, this is a chance
I know
to get a
mine.
picture. I know she's going to want a picture right there. So
Right.
she's got cat ears on. Somebody want a picture with her?
There you go.
That's Sherlock's cat, in case you didn't know. So you do now. Do you do other characters, or is
Oh, yes.
okay? Let's hear it.
Well, for Halloween.
Do we have enough time to talk about them all? No,
Oh, I
teasing.
do.
Yes.
Not all of them, obviously.
Not all of
but
them.
no, a couple years or so ago, after the Disney version of Maleficent,
Yes.
I came to Nightmare on Chicago Street as Maleficent.
That's amazing. You had the big headgear on?
Yes.
Oh, I did.
It's the
whole
best thing
costume,
ever,
the
right?
Staff. And fortunately, there was a fellow dressed up as kind of a bird. Ideal. So I grabbed him and we walked around a bit. And of course, everybody wanted a picture. This year, we had a whole crew of us that went as the characters from Alice Through the Looking Glass. I was the White Queen. My friend
Awesome,
Dawn
yes.
was the Red Queen. We had, of course, Alice. She was dressed up as Alice.
We had about 10 people.
Oh, we
I think,
did. We
yeah.
had everybody.
That's a lot of people to get together
oh,
to
yeah.
do it. That's awesome. That
You
was
guys
great.
invaded my work. Like,
No, yes,
right
we
then.
did. We did. And last year, I don't know if you remember, but there was a spotting of Elizabeth and Drake in downtown Elgin. Where did they come from? My
Yes.
goodness. And I was Elizabeth. And my...
I can comment on that. I'm driving, and I live around here. I work around here, obviously. I'm driving.
Why? Where do you work? I'm kidding.
Yes, well.
I was driving south on Spring, right now.
Oh, yeah.
This way, and Al's Creamery is on the corner, right up the block here on the right-hand side. And I'm driving by, and I'm like, what? Okay, Queen Elizabeth. Yeah. I see a lady in there. I knew it was Suzanne, because Suzanne goes to the teeth to, like, make sure she looks accurate. She had this high lace, like, starched collar.
Yes.
She just presents. Right, in a styrofoam cup, right? That's kind of period.
Well, no,
so
it was actually glass, so
was
that
it?
at least was good. But yes, my friend was dressed up as Sir Francis Drake. You know, and of course, well, we've done the Ren Fair thing before, you see, so there you go. And we used to go to the George Washington Birthday Ball in Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Very cool.
And I would go in 18th century attire, you know, from the Revolutionary War, that time period. And I always went as the European cousin. I wonder why. But I always had my hair, then I wore a wig. You know how they used to have the hair up here and boats and things like that. I didn't do a boat. But I did have the high-piled white hair and dressed up like, as we used to call it, a box of chocolates. You know, all these bows and ruffles and everything everywhere. It was great fun. It really was. It was a lot of fun. And we'd stroll around the place and have just a great time. So it's my hobby. I'm an engineer otherwise. So.
Yes. So, is there any
What I
other
do.
characters that maybe you dress up as that might relate to Doctor Who?
Oh, yes. Well, gee shucks.
I'm just, setting you up a little bit.
A
It's
couple
okay.
of years ago, I've forgotten that one.
Yes.
A couple of years ago for Halloween, I came in as Madame Vastra. Well, I mean, I have all the Victorian clothing, so
Yeah.
So yes,
That's
I have
excellent.
the full regalia for Madame Vastra. I'm trying to find someone to play Strax. Anyone? Any volunteers?
Any potato dwarfs here?
Martha could be Strax. We'll put the headpiece on. You can do it.
Why'd you say that
Why'd you say that name? So you might be taller than him in real life. I just want to let you know that, Martha, because he's. Yes, it would be, but that's okay. So yeah, so I think that was the first time we met. I believe it was when you
Yes, I
came in.
think so.
So this lady comes in, and that was it. Was that Nightmare 3 years ago?
2 years ago, something like that.
It was like
I
a couple.
don't
It was
remember.
2 years ago. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
this lady comes in this dead-on costume. I was like, oh my gosh! And we kind of struck up an acquaintance and got into more. And you did it one other time for us, right? Didn't you?
Yes, I
You
did.
did it. It's fantastic. So if you can see pictures, I mean, it really is a lot of work and a lot of effort, and I appreciate it because I know
Coming
how
up
hard
in
it is.
April, we are doing Doctor Who night here.
I will
So
definitely come as Madame Vastra.
We-
so
we
if
will
any of you want to
inviting,
join us
Nigel
for that, I'll
back
be Madame
and-
Yes.
Vastra.
that would be great.
Yes.
It's
I will.
awesome.
We always have 50 doctors, but to have some
well, yeah.
other characters
Yeah.
are always welcome.
And did you not come as for whose party? I can't think of his name. I'm drawing a blank. It's my 50-year-old, the boy for the party. Did you not? Did you come in for Colin or not?
I think I did.
You did.
Yes,
You came in
as
for
I-
Colin
as I
dressed up when we
recall,
did the
yeah.
Doctor Who thing because we had like 30 doctors and
Madame
Vastra and River Song and all sorts of stuff. So that was fantastic.
Yeah, we did a Doctor Who night here a couple of weeks ago, and we had just a line of doctors up here. It was
Yeah, I missed that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's whatever
great.
whenever you can show up, that's great in costume.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for wannabe cosplayers about doing this kind of thing and what you do? Or
Okay. If you do you know how to sew? That's always a good thing.
Right.
If you don't have a friend who knows how to sew,
Hand up.
yeah, always a plus. If you know how to sew, you know somebody who knows how to sew. First thing is get a bunch of good pictures of whatever costume it is you want to make. Get your friend to teach you how to sew or coach you in how to sew. I do get together in groups, by the way, and help people. But, the more the merrier. Basically, do your research and have a great time. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be as close as you can possibly get because everybody appreciates the effort. I mean, really. They just love it when you show up and, oh, I recognize that person. I recognize that costume. That sort of thing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you know what?
Mostly just have fun.
Yeah, it's about fun. It's about being recreating that that character in your style, and that's okay. Like I said before, I mean I've had people come in, be Darth Vader, throw a black cape on, put a black bowl on their head with a lightsaber, and say I'm Darth Vader, and that's cool.
Still
that's
works.
awesome. It still
People
works.
still
and
took pictures
and
with
you know
them.
what? And you want to be that people, and then you get other people who go the entire way with period accurate costumes, and you guys just appreciate that more if you've done any of this. Know how much work that goes into the hours and the expense. It's not a cheap thing, and we do appreciate that. And like we say, take pictures, ask, be polite, and do that kind of thing, and that's awesome.
One of my favorites that we saw it at the Madison Comic Con, and I'm going to get the character wrong, but the gist is enough. I love when people do like you said, a lot of people don't recognize Irene.
Yeah, that's true.
I like when people do the characters you may not recognize, and we saw a guy who was like...
You?
Yeah. Well, we saw a guy that was me. That was awesome. We're like, somebody's cosplaying me. He had pajama pants on. He looked scruffy and awful. And we're like, and then he ran, and Martha goes, well, it's not you.
Right.
He's moving. But we saw a guy that was like the gas station attendant from Back to the Future 2, and you're like, what? It was the
that's
greatest
fun.
costume, but if you didn't know, you wouldn't know it was a costume.
Yeah.
And you went up and you're like, and he goes, gas station attendant, Back to the Future 2. You're like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. That's why I like the Irene thing. I love that. That's awesome. Because anybody can go, oh, Sherlock, we know. We put the cape on, we put the thing. Mm-hmm. Go that extra mile, get something different.
Right, and there's a lot of different...
me. That one was awesome.
Right, and there's a lot of different versions of Irene Adler to play, and she's playing the more typical.
Well, there's one
original.
that we couldn't do here, which is the completely naked one that we saw in Sherlock.
Yes,
so
we can't.
Let's
we
not
can't.
do that one here.
What movie was she in that we just saw? Underworld. She was in Underworld, but there are other, and it's kind of cool to see the different generations and different takes on Irene Adler because you could play the more current one, you could play the the movie one, you could play the Sherlock. You could do all that kind of stuff, and it's
the Basil
it's very
Rathbone one.
Yeah,
whatever.
There are all sorts of things, and it's really neat to see what people's take is on that character and to see that.
The
stuff.
elementary one too is
because
very
you guys dress up a lot. You do
I
things.
love her on that show. Don't you love that character on that
I
show?
do. I
so
do.
good.
Yeah, it's cool. And just to kind of do a takeoff, we're doing live at the Blue Box every second Saturday here at Blue Box Cafe. Every fourth Saturday, Lena is doing a thing called Disgruntled Baristas.
Plug.
Which we're plugging.
And Joey.
Yeah. So if you want to explain what we're going to be doing on the fourth Saturday.
Make sure she has the mic right in her mouth.
All right.
Yeah.
So for the Disgruntled Baristas, it's going to have a different theme every time. So this next one that we're doing is going to be all about Edgar Allan Poe. So we're going to have we encourage people to dress up. We want people to come in. If they want to read Edgar Allan Poe himself, we really encourage that. And we also have a contest that we're going to be doing where we're going to have people write in the style of Poe beforehand and then come in and read it. And then everyone in the audience will be allowed to judge it and figure out which one they love the best.
And there will be prizes. You win gift cards to Blue Box Cafe. So, and what else can you do? Cosplay. Again, we've talked about cosplay. If you want to come dressed up as somebody of that Victorian period, that would be awesome too. Or the Raven, yeah. If you want to come,
I'm going to come as John Cusack.
Wait, or if you want to come as he did Pit and Pendulum, right? So you could come as Gallows, right?
Who did Pit and Pendulum?
Telltale Heart.
Oh, you mean Poe? Yes.
Like Poe. So you could do.
I thought it meant John Cusack.
Right? No, that is awful. Any John Cusack reference, you're out of here. But so it's a new show. We're putting it together. It's a work in progress. Lena and Joey are working on it. It's going to be fantastic. So if you guys want to do that kind of thing, there will be more information on our Facebook page I'm going to create a Facebook page for them to the disgruntled baristas. So follow us and we'll get that together. I know it's a lot of work. We're going to get there, but we're getting all that stuff. But that's something to come on. Again, all levels of cosplay are encouraged. So if you come in a black jacket and just want to be Rob Southgate and grumpy, that's Edgar Allan Poe if you've seen this picture. So
get a tie-dye Star Wars T-shirt. Be awesome. Like,
well,
There you go.
that's Edgar Allan Poe of right now. But that's what we got going on.
All right.
But that's another cool thing, and you can see a higher end example of what cosplay is. Well, I'm just saying that. I mean,
after he talks about me, he says higher end and points that way.
Well, your cosplay is going to Walmart and spending $5, and you're okay. This is a lot of work. Anything else we want to cover?
No, I think we're covering
anything else you guys want to cover. I mean, I appreciate you guys coming out. You have come out
You look
several
awesome,
times.
and I want everybody to get pictures.
Yes, please get pictures. She will
Get
be
pictures of them with the snowman. That's even better. We can move our sign.
Because we all know Super Wholock, so you can Supernatural, Doctor Who fans, and Sherlock fans all kind of run in the same circles.
Yes.
So any crossover, what we need is a Negan, and it'll be awesome.
Super Who Locks, because there's an X-Files reference there, too. You got to get that in all the time.
No, we don't have to put it.
If you like those other things, you like the files.
Yes. Yes. Okay. But guys, thanks, Suzanne. Thanks, Lena, for coming out. We appreciate the effort. And guys, please take pictures, get autographs, discuss all that stuff.
Pictures.
So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Did you get something to eat or not?
If you have
No,
Twitter,
please do.
you know the kids with their Twitter, tweet it out. Use a hashtag. What are we going to do? Let's do. Don't do BBC Sherlock. That's too obvious. Let's do.
Blue Box Sherlock or Blue Box cosplay. What do you want to do?
Yeah. BB cosplay.
All right. So
hashtag BB cosplay. Hey, can somebody move the sign out of the way so they don't have to have the sign in their picture? Is it okay?
Anyone? Bueller?
All right.
I'll do it. Hold on.
All right. I got it. All right. So what we're going to do next, we have a show that we do called Pop Culture Countdown, where we will take a subject, some type of pop culture subject, and try to come up with we start out by getting the top 5, where we all come in and say, these are the ones we think are the best, and then we boil it down to the top 3. This is going to be awful, because we're going to try to pick the top 2 Sherlock episodes. So we have to talk about the different episodes without spoiling, because that guy is going to break somebody's leg if we do, right? No, he's very mellow? All right.
Plus, he said he's all been spoiled already. So
Sherlock is Watson's dad. Did I just spoil something for you? No, okay. People are like, wait, is he? So,
That's
Chris,
awful.
we got to come to the top 2 episodes
okay.
out of the whole series.
I need to pull them up because I don't know all their names.
So I don't know the names. So let's start going through them.
I don't know the
And
names that we're going to talk
Martha,
about.
did you want to be? Martha's talking to somebody. If somebody wants to join us up here to be the third chair, somebody can.
Anyone?
Anyone daring enough?
Anyone daring to want to talk with us? Because I wouldn't.
Anybody?
Bueller?
No? All right. You want to, but you're not coming up, I can tell. Yep. All right. Well, let's do this thing, Chris. So when I look at this and I start talking about what the top 3 are, we always come in with criteria, right?
Right.
I always do. I don't have my criteria yet, so I got to think about this for a second. First of all, I've got 2 ways to look at this show. One is character development, which when we asked Martha, she was saying that the wedding one was her favorite because it's all about the emotion and the character development. Could be arguably a good thing to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one of your favorites. Do you want to join in on this? You're just going to yell from there? Okay.
You're just because she
then
has
there's
more to say
also-
from the table than she does.
There's also the mystery part of it. It's funny because I'll give you my top 3,
okay.
and then let's see what we get. But you're going to have to pull up the names. I don't have any devices to pull up
I
the
got
name
it. Go
on
ahead.
anything. So right away, I'm going to throw out there that last episode, the lying detective.
Lying detective.
And
I have nothing to write on. So
I don't know if I would have said.
I got it.
Here.
Thank you.
I don't know if I would have said in the first half of the episode if it would have made my top 3, even though I was loving it. I was loving Toby Jones.
The last 10 minutes is.
But the last half of that episode, the development of the characters, the story of Toby Jones, The links that Sherlock went to were amazing. And another element in there that really that I really loved, and you don't have to listen, but I'm not going to say anything other than the Mary part of that episode was astounding. So I'm going to say that, but I don't know if that's my top one. Which one would you say?
So if we were going to look at top ones,
we're going to go with the top 3 for each of us.
I'm going to say Empty Hearse, the comeback when we think he dies.
Right.
I thought that was an amazing episode.
I do too. But I'm not going to put that one.
Okay.
It was amazing. I remember he came back. There was a lot of great stuff in that. That was when Watson was first with Mary, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
They've started to date already.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. But you know what? I think it's the one just before that, the one where Moriarty and Sherlock have their confrontation. I thought that was spectacular. I thought the way that whole thing played out and the way it ended was amazing. And if I had been watching it in real time, you had like a 2-year gap after seeing Sherlock. Awful. So each time it ends at the 3rd episode, you're like, I hate Stephen Moffat. I hate everybody. Please give me more. Yeah, it's terrible. I remember, now we weren't watching it. Obviously, we just watched it this week. We were at a family reunion, and our cousin was watching it in real time, and that one had just aired, and he was going, I hate this show so much. And I gotta wait. And he goes, and they could take years before it comes back. And it did. It was like 3. But I loved that episode. When I think about TV shows like this show, because it's only 3 episodes a season, I don't think I'll go back and say the 3rd season, the 2nd season. It's more episodes that are touchstones. Like Sopranos, the 2nd season of Sopranos is a touchstone. It's one of the finest works ever on TV. That's the Richie Aprile season, which to me, there is nothing wrong in the Richie Aprile season.
No.
Anybody know what that is? I love that season. The season of Dexter with John Lithgow.
Yeah.
What is he? The something killer. Spoiler.
20-year-old show? You can't spoil it. So
that is a touchstone. For this, I think that episode with Moriarty is a touchstone. It's a defining moment, not only of that series, but of television. It was one of the finest things. It's like, Breaking Bad, you just say the whole series. And you could say that for this too.
Right.
I mean, really, there's no low watermark here.
No, they're all good. And the unfortunate part is we only have, 12 episodes to pull from right now. So
13.
Well, yes. Well, it'll be
12. It'll be
12
13
that we've
tomorrow.
seen. It'll be 13 tomorrow. And unfortunately,
this
that
will
might
all
be
be a
it for
moot
while.
point because tomorrow's going to be the greatest episode ever.
It might be. Who knows? So
you haven't named one, did you?
I did.
Oh, Empty Hearse.
The Empty Hearse. And then I would go with, I think, The Lying Detective. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, they both have been great, but this one was crazy good.
Okay, what's number 3 for you? I didn't really love.
I might have to say the one where he does commit suicide. That one, the Reichenbach fall. The one where he actually thinks he commits suicide. The one where they're on top of the hospital and he.
That's the one I was talking about.
Right.
That's the third one of that season.
That would be my.
That's your number 3.
Be number 3.
Okay. Well, this was easy because we've got 2 that have 2 votes.
Yes.
So a third one for me. You know what? It's actually easier.
No, are you talking about the Moriarty death? Or are you talking about the
hospital?
The hospital. Okay.
I'll tell you the other one for me, because it was, especially the first 10 minutes were so shockingly good. The pilot, the pink whatever.
The Study in Pink.
Yeah, Study in Pink. When they're all in that room, this is your first experience with Sherlock, and you're watching this, and all the reporters are sitting there, and and Lestrada's up there talking, and he's saying stuff, and it's just coming up wrong on all they're getting the text and say wrong, and they're like, "Who's doing this?" And you see Lestrada's face, and you know, of course it's Sherlock, and he's doing this. But we didn't know at that point anything about like we didn't know Sherlock knew technology. We didn't know any of that.
Right.
It was beautiful, and the way the Watson story unfolded, all of it. When they went to the cafe, and they were looking out and they saw the taxi, and then he leaves the cane. Like to me, those are moments like when I think of the show, I think of all of that.
Sure.
I think that's my third.
Well,
even though we could go through every episode and be like, oh, and then this, and then and then tears.
Gaddis, through all of his writing, he's really big on having seminal moments in each episode where there's very subtle actions that define a lot of things, like the leaving of the cane, like in Lying Detective, the cane coming into play again.
Yes.
And it's the recording.
And that was great when the cane came back.
And the total that, but then the devices in there, you're just like,
so good.
I mean, he's like, how long did you do that? 3 weeks ago, actually. So not to spoil that, but
it's so good.
That's amazing. I mean, he is great at that. And he does that in every episode. So
those are my three.
Like when you go back, I think those are three good ones. I could go with the three that you have.
So which is the best one? I just took away two. What's the best one? I think I know what I'm going to say is the best one.
You're going to say Lying Detective.
I'm going to say Lying Detective, even though the Falls one really is spectacular.
Right.
The Lying Detective is going to stay with me forever. Like when I see it come up on Netflix, the first one I'm going to go to is Lying Detective.
Right.
It just is. I love the whole H.H. Holmes tie-in.
Sure.
I'm a big fan of that story.
Right.
Toby Jones is one of my favorites. He's Armin Zola.
I know.
He's going to come back next season as just on a monitor and computer. No, that's Civil War.
Wait.
How awesome would that be?
Wait, we're back.
I think it's Lying Detective is number one for me. What do you say?
I'd say that, too. I think it's the most, it is the culmination of all of Holmesness in one episode.
And it's not cheap.
No.
In fact, it makes you cry.
Right.
It's scary.
Emotional. Right. And you end up really not liking Holmes for a while, which is great.
Or
which
Watson.
is amazing.
We didn't like Watson for part of that. And
I never believed that part. So
flip cards on you like bam, bam, bam the whole time where you're going, wait a minute. Like even the fact that the killer is revealed to you
right.
in the first 10 seconds.
This was Sixth Sense. It's like, here it is. I'm a serial killer.
Yeah, they don't make any.
No,
they don't hide
no
the mystery. The mystery is how is this going to unfold. But the real mystery is what you find out at the end. I'm not telling you, but it's so great.
Yeah.
And there's no way she did.
Right. There's no way that
person.
There's no way someone did.
Did that person do that to the other person?
Does anybody have any other thoughts about what they think the best episode is?
Are we getting it right?
Devin.
You haven't seen them, though. The Wedding.
The Wedding, yeah.
Which one? So you like The Abominable Bride? Which is a pretty spectacular piece of television.
Yeah.
He chose Abominable Bride as his or the original, one of his 12 favorites, yeah. Sounds like us. He's got criteria. He's got to come down to the 12. Somebody over here raised their hand, I think.
Anybody? No. Favorite episode?
Somebody have something different than what we said?
Can we just all list all of them and do them? So, yeah, The Last Vow is, I like the Wedding one too.
Yeah.
I just, in terms of, it's a very great, it's a very Watson-esque episode.
The mystery is kind of secondary in that one,
right.
Even though
it's characters
when you look back on it, it's pretty good. And what happened does stick with you. That was a character one, and the uncomfortableness of Sherlock and the portrayal of his Asperger's was really great. And I love that that even Watson called it out when he goes. It wasn't that episode; it was another one though. When he said, maybe if we had friendly faces here, something that wouldn't upset his, and Watson goes, Asperger's. That's hilarious.
Well, I love how he embraces
they
it,
never
but then
say that kind of stuff.
But he can't control it either, which is great because he spends so much time being in control. He doesn't know when he's not caught up, and I think that's the obviously a definition of the disease, but also how well it's played and how functioning he is. Where he's like, "You're a sociopath." Yeah, I'm a functioning sociopath.
Yeah.
That's it. He's just like, "Yeah, okay."
When he shot the guy, I'm a
Right.
functioning sociopath. Bam.
Right.
And then when they retouched it and you see him shooting down here, that was
Yes.
excellent. You know what? I got a moment that I love. This is going to be a real odd moment, but it keeps going through my head, and I'm like, I got to mention this.
Do we have to play a love song behind?
Fat Mycroft.
Oh yeah. So
It's
how-
the best thing ever. When his hand goes up and it's so meaty.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh.
He's like,
And they're
Mycroft,
having
what
the
happened?
bet.
He's like,
They're having the bet, though. It sounds like us with our death pool up here. Where they're having the bet. He's like, it's going to be, 4 years, 11 months. And he's like, 2 years, 6 months. Mycroft's like, I have a bet to win. Oh, it's so great.
It's a donut, right? Or he goes, is it a donut?
Well, it wasn't a donut. It was a cake thing.
Oh, yeah.
They
Was
were,
it a pasty?
They were,
Was it
they
a-
were
it was a-
giant.
yeah.
And they brought him 3 instead of 1. He's like, I've got to get on this. Trying to kill himself with those things to win his bet.
He's so good, Gaddis.
Oh.
I mean, besides obviously
No,
Martin
but
Freeman.
that character is the way he portrays him. Now, does anybody watch Elementary? You said you do. The Mycroft character on that, isn't that Ray Ifans plays Mycroft?
Reese Siphons? Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's great on that. And I love how they had him and Watson, where there's this whole did they, didn't they, and then they just kind of flip it like, yeah, okay, there's a relationship. And you're like, especially knowing those characters, they really turned it on its ear very well. Johnny Lee Miller, though, I'd love to see a universe where we have Johnny Lee Miller meet Cumberbatch.
Meets Downey Jr. Would that be awesome?
Meet Downey Jr. Yeah, that would be something else. Oh, it'd be great.
Well, who could?
Yeah,
Well,
the
she's-
female Watson,
she's fantastic
great,
at it.
though. And one thing when I did the show about it, I kept saying I wanted them to get together, but I didn't. They have been very clear they are never getting together. But they
What?
do Watson and Holmes
Right.
on Elementary.
Right.
But when you watch it, there is a tension that is so tangible. But the showrunners have said, that's fine. It is a 0 chance. It will never happen. Yeah. And you know what? I
Wait,
love
hold
that
on.
because
You
on
made a
Moonlighting, they
30-year-old
kept saying,
reference
will
there?
they, won't they?
Yeah.
Here they're saying, they won't. But you're going to enjoy this uncomfortableness. Here you go. And you do, man. It's so good. I love Lucy Liu on that show.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She's very talented. So they're both talented, but it was a good casting for her.
And Something Smells So Good. Oh,
Yeah, what
my
is that?
gosh.
That does smell. Sorry.
What is,
Yeah. 'Cause my wife's making something back there, so that's good.
wow. It's driving
Sorry.
me nuts.
Sorry, guys.
All right, what else do we have? Did anyone have anything they wanted to talk about with Sherlock? Anything we missed? Oh, the birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Didn't you love that moment when he's like, I know something now.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And he's like, what could it possibly be?
Happy birthday. Right.
Yeah. That was really, really done well. The other thing is the way they've portrayed Watson, they were referring to him as an idiot, just like they've done in other things. He is not an idiot. This guy is a physician. And if you watch him with Sherlock, he really does figure a lot out. He just doesn't have the OCD that Sherlock has.
Right.
So he would make a fine detective in his own right.
Right.
Better than Lestrade, okay?
But if you're talking about the idiot, and he's not even bad in this.
He's not bad.
In this reiteration, Lestrade's pretty sharp. He's a sharp guy.
Well, he's not bad on Elementary either. If you watch that young Sherlock Holmes, the Lestrade is a really great character. He is, if you haven't seen it, he is a
Biff.
lieutenant detective in it, and he is
Is young Indiana Jones in the movie in the show too? Yes.
and he takes all the credit from Sherlock solving this, and Sherlock's a teenager or whatever, and he even says, like, I'm going to solve this so that you can move up the ranks. I'm
Right.
handing you everything here. I'm a kid. I'm a teenager. No one's listening to me. I'm going to hand this to you. And Lestrade's like, nope, doesn't make any sense. Of course it's this other thing. And then at the end,
Right.
he gets the credit for it. And it's like, no spoiler there. This movie's, 40 years old?
Right.
So I was only 10 when it came out.
But they do that. They do that in the show great, where it's like, oh, I love your blog, and Watson's like, yeah, I read it. They're like, no,
yeah, they all think it's Sherlock. Although, okay, there's a trivia question. What is the name of Sherlock's blog? Does anybody know? No, Sherlock's blog. No, it's something like the.
No, he doesn't.
No, but it's something like a study of tobacco or something. They say that they drop this line in there. It's like a study of tobacco flavor or something. And I was taking an online trivia thing today, and that answer came up. It did say the pink thing, and it said something, the study of deduction or something.
The science of deduction is Watson.
Watson.
That's Watson doing Holmes.
Right, but Holmes has a blog. He says it in the first episode or something, and it's and because Watson says, "Who reads your blog?" It's just about tobacco, and it's called like the study of tobacco. What is Sherlock's blog though?
Hey, 30 seconds to the second. That's awesome.
No, it says that's Sherlock.
No, that's the one about Sherlock.
It's a blog.
No, that's
the name of an episode.
Okay, we won't stop talking. Everyone's looking it up. We're going to prove this guy wrong. You will prove me wrong. That's okay.
So Debbie brought in this great little clip.
Right, and he referred, but it said on this quiz, because they said the thing about the tobacco, and then it said on this quiz that the name of the blog, and it might be one of those things that they don't say on the show that's like from the show Bible or something, but it's like a study of tobacco or something like that. Flavors of, and it's all about tobacco because he's obsessed with smoking. But they did make a reference. He has dropped that line, and he dropped one about, I'm writing one about the effects of these types of poisons. Yes. And somebody went, well, that's going to be a page turner.
Yeah. Can't do that. So
I love that he gets into tweeting, and he's just obsessed with tweeting, and he starts, what is it?
Nice.
That's one of his blog posts.
Is
it?
Okay.
Then I'm completely wrong.
Yes.
Huzzah! All right, well, then that quiz was wrong, too.
Nice. That's good.
But I thought that was Watson's blog about Sherlock.
His is a study in pink, right?
His is a study. No, a study in pink is the name of his blog. The one that Sherlock Holmes writes.
A study in pink is a blog
what
of
is
Dr.
the one
John
that
Watson.
Watson writes?
A study in pink. We're wrong.
But that's a blog post.
No, that's the name of it. We're confused.
So every
in
blog
Rob and
post,
Chris is Sherlock and Watson. That's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah. I have to wear the hat.
Interesting.
All right. So we're great hosts.
I'll just say this is as bad as when I did the thing at the college. I got it all wrong.
So
you know what was great at that? So they had me wear the coat, they had me have the pipe and the deer stalker, and I had to stand there. And then they started asking me questions. I'm like, they said, you just have to come in as cosplay. We're going to dress you up in this thing, and they paid me. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? This room full of people starts asking me questions, and I'm like, uh-oh. And at that point, I'd read half a dozen Sherlock Holmes stories. I'm going,
Hounds of Baskerville.
So then these people started all talking, and they were all like old school Sherlock Holmes, like obsessed. And I'll never forget this because the one guy brings up the fact that his study, he is converting it into Sherlock Holmes, an accurate Sherlock Holmes study, right? It turns out this is a thing people do. They start talking about there's some guy, and they're like, well, and Bob whatever in Schaumburg has one. And they also are going, oh, I've been to that. Oh, like they're like a museum in your house that is a Sherlock Holmes study.
Nice.
I wonder if people do that with the new ones. Yeah, you've got one, right?
No. CSI actually had a Sherlock Holmes episode where they actually cosplayers. This guy literally
Had like the study.
everything.
Hey, Rob, there's people that do TARDISes in their house, too.
Really? I mean, but these people were talking about it like it was like, I mean, like you've seen the people that have
Right.
like I love this one. I saw the guy that made his home theater into the Stargate. He has the actual Stargate, and it clicks like this, and then the movie comes on. We watched a video. I worked in an electronics thing. It was so cool. But this is like you're building a study, and they were saying it's everything from like where the pipe is placed to the music on the stand. Like everything has to be
perfect, right?
Perfect. It's weird. I mean, it's cool.
That's very cool. I guess your fandom,
it's really cool.
I'd like to do either a TARDIS console or Bridge of the Enterprise.
I think if Kathleen cared, you could have 2 rooms. If Kathleen really loved you.
I don't even get any room. I get no room.
Right.
I have no room. I have a desk. That's it.
So do I. I got a lot of crap around. What?
Wow, that's awesome.
Nice.
Is it metal? You can kill things? No, well, that's they didn't trust you yet, but that's okay. But eventually we can do that. That's cool. So
love only goes so far.
That is very cool. Those are really neat looking too. Those would be bad blank fighting. So Deb brought us a little bit of news.
This just in.
It's not a little bit of news, but
it's from his blog.
Apparently,
Tobacco.
Benedict Cumberbatch is related to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. He's his 16th cousin twice removed, which means at one point in time they both drank water at some place. I don't know, but I mean,
so there is some
kind of
bloodline.
cool. There is some bloodline, but I mean, I think if you're in England, you're related to everybody eventually.
Yep.
Somehow, because whatever happened, but that's kind of neat.
When you play 6 Degrees of Cumberbatch, you actually get Sir Conan Doyle now.
Do you?
Well,
it's 16. Well, you could. So
that one you get first because he's in his show.
But that's it. And I love how people mispronounce his name, the whole play they have on it. So I think that's awesome.
When I teach at Edge, and I teach voice acting, and we have to do warm-ups. The warm-up I use almost every time is I make the kids enunciate Benedict Cumberbatch. And then I try to get them to say, like, Benedict Cumberbun and all that. So I love it. I love saying his name.
It's awesome.
I might change mine.
Robert Cumberbatch?
Yes, Cumberbatch. Yes, love it.
And
all right, is that it?
But it's so English. You hate to say it.
Cumberbatch?
It's like it just like oozes of Englishness. So,
yes,
which is awesome.
With his high cheekbones.
Yes.
Yes. There's 2 in the room. George Robert Southgate, the 6th and the 7th are in the house. That's pretty English.
Your given name is George?
It is. Didn't you know that?
I did not know that.
But they all call me G Money.
All? Who's all? You?
Me.
You. Right. With reverb on.
Did I mention I have schizophrenia? Multiple personality is more accurate. I get everything wrong. So, all right. There we go. Thank you for diagnosing me. I will take that to the bank.
So you're messed up. That's hard to believe.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
Did we cover it all?
I think we covered it all. Anything else? Anybody else want to say anything? Talk? Interject?
This was fun to talk about Sherlock.
Yeah.
I had a good time. Did you guys like it? Yeah?
So next on, we
Sherlock's
talked about it at the beginning.
key than Doctor Who and Star Wars, but it's still good.
February 11th, we're going to do Ready Player 2, which is going to talk about video games of all sorts.
The last time we did video game night, it was so much fun. This is going to be even better because now we put it out there and we've got people. We might be getting some cool guests that work in the industry. Mm-hmm. We've got some fun stuff that's going to be that night.
We're going to hijack the Pac-Man guy and bring him for no reason.
Yes.
So.
So that's going to be fun. And then after that, we have
Thor, right? Is it Thor? No. Hulk, right?
No, we don't do Hulk.
I thought we were doing Hulk.
No, we have video game night. Then we have Kong.
No. April is Doctor Who, or March is Doctor Who, right?
No, April is Doctor Who. We have video game night. Then the second week of March, we have Kong because Kong Skull Island comes out. I love Kong. So we're going to be talking about King Kong and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. There we go. There's the answer. Sign up for our mailing list. If you go to southgatemediagroup.com, we have an email list on there. Just click on the thing that says join our email list, or just put your email list in the box, and we'll direct you. Yes, I see it, Dad. Settle down. We also have a box over here for donations. They go to Southgate Media Group. That's how we get paid. All these things are free, but you can see there's equipment. And
interny people.
And interny people. They don't get paid.
They don't.
And shh. They're not listening anyway. But we have a box for donations. So if you had a good time tonight and you want to support us, That's how you do it. It would be greatly appreciated.
And then also we've started here at the Blue Box Cafe on Saturday nights. We are doing kind of a rotating thing. We're doing the same thing like the first, second, third, fourth Friday of every month. First Saturday is open mic. Second Saturday is live at the Blue Box. What we're doing here. Next week we have our inaugural show called James Wilder's Tales by the Blue Light, which is
It's a Southgate Media Group production. Actually, I'll tell you, if you guys have followed us at all and been to any of our events, like our podcast marathon, James is the guy that is the author that has read at our stuff.
Right.
He's written a poem for every single episode of Doctor Who, among other things. He has a novel that just came out, too, called 10,000 Dawns, which is really cool.
Really good.
And it was also a podcast. There's no logo. It's on our website. But his show is going to be kind of like Prairie Home Companion meets The Moth meets what else?
Meets Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
So what it's going to be like a sci-fi horror kind of.
Yeah, with lots of like storytelling and could be some Lovecraft going on in there if I have anything to say about it. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. That's the third, and then the fourth is the Disgruntled Baristas.
Right, which is the more cosplay and those themes. So
yeah.
If you guys not only look at Southgate Media Group, follow Blue Box Cafe on Facebook or Twitter. We'll have all that information. We have the events posted through the Blue Box Cafe Facebook page.
Yes.
And so we have a lot of stuff. We will get the information about what we're doing out to you. So
yeah. We'll go with the main one. Our Twitter feed is at SMG Pods. So if you guys follow Twitter, do what she's doing. Go follow us right now where it says at SMG Pods. We will be tweeting out when we have these events and other things. The other thing is, we were just talking about this today. We have a deal with Entertainment Earth. I don't know if you guys like toys and pop culture stuff. Lots of cool, if you like pop culture stuff, that's all their website is.
Right.
They're going to be doing contests through us. Get on our Facebook page. Get on our Twitter. You'll be notified when we're doing these
things.
things.
Still
The
doing
giveaways
the
are
Supernatural one?
awesome. I think we're doing the Supernatural one coming up this month, where
Nice.
it's the car and the two figures, and it's $100 toy that they're giving away for free on our thing. All you got to do is join our email list. It's awesome. And if you're already on our email list, you just got to click on the thing and you're signed up.
Right.
And we also have Doctor Who vinyl figures. They want to tie into these Doctor Who events or these Live at the Blue Box events. So as we're going forward, we're going to have these giveaways, but you got to be on our Twitter, you got to be on our Facebook to do it.
Absolutely. Any other social media that you want to get out or not?
Yeah, I just added 3 new YouTube channels yesterday, aside from the Southgate Media Group YouTube channel. All of our shows basically are going to have their own YouTube channels coming up soon. So if you go to the main one, Southgate Media Group on YouTube, along the side it has suggested channels. Guess what I'm suggesting? Our channels!
Our channels, there you go.
So, and if you like the businessy stuff, I have a business show where I don't act like such a jackass. It's called New Media Lab.
No, you do.
I just put on
Trust me.
the entire first season as YouTube videos. So
Awesome.
It's really cool. We talk all about social media, blogging, podcasting, all of that stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, and Rob just did a Twitter thing with us in the media group. That's crazy good. So if you need followers, click on that stuff because it's amazing.
Follow me, and I will tell you how to do
Lead
that.
you to there. The stuff here for Blue Box.
The one guy went from 140 followers a month ago to 10,000 he hit the other day.
10,000, which is great. That was Scott, right?
Yep.
Scott did that. We're going to be showing Sherlock here in a couple minutes. We're going to get the lights off. We'll get that going. Thanks, everybody, for coming out.
Yeah, thank you, Blue Box.
Appreciate it. Hope to see you guys
Martha,
at some of the other events.
thank you. Let's hear it for Martha, too. She ditched on us early, but good job, Martha. Good job, Chris.
Yeah,
thank you, everybody.
And Suzanne and Lena for dressing up and coming in.
You
Thank
guys
you guys.
rock.
It was
Go
awesome,
get
and thank
pictures
you.
with those guys.
Get pictures.
Take a picture by the TARDIS. Thanks, everybody.
There
Have a
you
good
go.
night.
Thanks.